Hey guys, welcome back to Off Brand, the channel dedicated to sharing fashion opinion, emphasis on opinion. You know you love her. So today we're going to be talking about the new Gossip Girl reboot. But before we get started, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you have those notifications on so you don't miss any of this great fashion content. Today I'm going to do it in two parts. So the first part, I'm going to talk and rate the main group's fashion from worst to best, and then I'm going to talk about the show like as a whole and just give my review, because I have a review. So let's get started. The worst for me, and at number 8 is Obi. And funny enough, not only do I think Obi is the worst dressed, I honestly think he's the worst character out of the entire group. He has a really big savior complex, and for somebody who's the richest and goes home to mommy and daddy's money, I just don't feel like he should be talking as much. Maybe instead of buying food trucks, he should have, put towards the homeless, reinvested in the community. I don't know. And yeah, his dress sense is the most boring, I think, because of that whole savior complex thing. He doesn't really care about his appearance, and it shows. Okay, and next up at number 7 is Aki. I'm gonna say Aki. I actually like Aki. I think he's a nice character. He's just a bit boring for me. He doesn't really have personality, and I think the same for his style. It doesn't really have any kind of identity, but I do think that does kind of link to the storylines we've seen about him not really being sure about himself. But I really wish they would lean into like the skater vibe that he seems to have. I mean, he has pink hair. How are you the most boring and you got pink hair? So at number 6 is Max. Now, Max is the best dressed out of the boys, I would say. He does experiment with print and pattern, which I enjoy. But overall, he does have this kind of weird, I don't want to say hipster, but hipster vibe. Like, just for people who are meant to be the upper echelon of like New York, I don't see it personally. I'm not seeing it. At number 5 is Luna. Now, I actually enjoy Luna as a character. I think she is, I wish we got a bit more about her as a person, but I do enjoy her as evil as she is. But I think her style sometimes, especially at school, can lean towards being quite mature. Like sometimes when I see her, I do mistake her for being a teacher, and she's meant to be 15, 16, and I don't get that vibe whatsoever. It gives very 35-year-old teacher, been working there a good 5 to 7 years, is ready to go. Like, it gives that. And so I wish they would just age her down a little bit in her dress sense. But I do think she has had some interesting looks, like that white dress that she wore to the Christopher John Rogers show. I thought that was really nice on her. It was angelic, and I think it really played to her age. But the rest, it's a bit mature. Number 4 is Audrey. Now, Audrey, I really enjoy her look, and I get a sense of the type of girl they're trying to go for. They're really giving her that kind of like Audrey Hepburn meets Lily Rose Depp sort of look. Very kind of like modern apathetic teen. And I get that, and I really do see that in the styling. I think some of her school customizations are really cute. Particularly that chunky cardigan she likes to wear. I think that's so cute. The tights though, stop it, like so ugly. And I do think she has some of the best formal dress sense. What she wore to the student teacher conference was really, really pretty, really sophisticated, really sleek. And I think it did give a hint to that kind of like new money vibe that they're all meant to have. But I still think there's more to go. There's a bit more to see. It's still a bit too plain. There's not enough substance for me with Audrey's sense of style. But I like her as a character, and I do enjoy her enough fashion wise. At number 3, and surprisingly, is Zoya. Now, Zoya isn't actually one of my favorite characters. She's okay, but I think she has the most authentic style, and I really feel like if this character was real, this would be how she would dress, if you get what I mean. It's very age appropriate, still very fashion forward. I want to say collab with Gossip Girl. It gives me that. It's very modern, very preppy, but still has sort of an alternative, like grungy, I don't care vibe to it. Yeah, I just really like it. And like I said, it's age appropriate. She actually looks like a 14-year-old. And I really like that. At number 2 is the it girl herself, Julian. I really do enjoy Julian's sense of style. I think she does live up to kind of being the Serena of the season, which I think she is meant to be. her schoolwear is those white boots in the first episode. Loved those. It has kind of gone downhill since then, but I do think that is playing to her mental health and the current state of the character, so I'll give them that. But I do think she does have the best dress sense. She does have one of the best dress senses outside. The Mugler jumpsuit moment was really pretty. The pipe CJR dress that she wore for their runway show, I thought that was really beautiful. The shaved head, I think she does seem current and she does seem fashion forward. I just think there is a bit missing in her school customization, because I think Gossip Girl was kind of one of the staples fashion wise, the fact that they wore their school uniforms so uniquely. So I think that is slightly missing for me, but she has had some really interesting moments, and I think particularly to pick someone like Mugler and a Christopher John Rogers, it shows that she is kind of the now, like the current fashion forward teen now. You guessed it, the most fashion forward, and actually someone who turns out to be like my favorite character, as horrible as she is Monet. I think Monet is my favorite fashion wise and character wise, because when I imagined a reboot of Gossip Girl, this is exactly the type of fashion sense I imagined. I think especially nowadays when we think of money, when we think of like upper echelon, like I think a lot of teen girls, they do tend to go for bigger brands like Gucci and particularly Chanel, and I think Monet really gives that like modernized 90s Chanel girl vibe, which a lot of girls strive for. You know, we've seen cropped blazers and just overall like remixed formal wear its way back into the mainstream, and I think she does it so well. Those like tweed mini skirt suits are so cute, but then she modernizes it with the accessories. You know, she had the Louis Vuitton heart bag, the Jacquemus bag, and I think it shows that yes, she does come from older money where Chanel, Gucci, Mugler, Dior, all of these are very accessible to her, but then it shows that she's still very modern and like fashion forward and represents a teen of today with, you know, trendy staples like a Jacquemus bag, like a Perny bag, which I saw Julian had as well. So it does show that she is, you know, part of those trendsetters, which I think a lot of them don't really show in their style. The suit, the Christopher John Rogers suit, the sharp shoulder, the iridescent purple, again, just she's had so many great fashion moments to me, and I think she has the best school customization. Like I don't even recognize it as uniform. It's that great. Like I just think she is the best fashion. Okay, now moving on to the show. God, it's not bad, but is it good? It's okay. I think overall it is definitely entertaining enough to keep watching, and I will continue to watch. There's only been like 4 or 5 episodes, so I will continue to watch. The group's storylines are definitely interesting enough to keep me hooked. I will say that I do have like 3 major hang-ups though. The first being Obi. If they were ever going to dead a character, and that doesn't happen very often in the Gossip Girl world, if they wanted to do it, Obi is the one to do it with. I just think his character is just useless, irritating, just not for me. Like I would really like him to go stage left, like just so up himself. I can't take it. My second thing is definitely the student-teacher relationships. Max and that one teacher, not here for it. That is definitely a trope I was really hoping we would get rid of. But they brought it back and I really hate it. I think it's disgusting. It just doesn't speak to me. I do not want to see it, do not want to partake. So I'd really like that to go. But I think my biggest hang up with the show, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, if you have not watched the show, do not go past this point. Do not go past go. Do not, you know, take 200. Just stay where you are. The teachers being Gossip Girl. I think it is like the bit, like, I'm sorry, call me sensitive, call me what you want to call me. The teachers being Gossip Girl has to be like the biggest ethical like dilemma I have ever seen. Like and it's the fact during the first episode I thought, okay, this could be interesting, and I thought it was gonna go, you know, the teachers would start but somebody would pick off. But when we're like 4 or 5 episodes in, and the teachers are still delving into the lives of these students. It is just disgusting to me. Like, it's so uncomfortable to watch. And I just think there is something so like sinister and weird about teachers delving into the personal lives of their students to the point where they know they are causing like mental distress. They are destroying families, destroying relationships, all because Julian bumped into that teacher once and dropped her coffee. And I know it's more than that, but it's giving that, and I'm just like, I'm not here for it. It's weird. So I would really hope going forward that what I said happens. That, you know, because in the last episode there was sort of like a resolution, and it seemed like Gossip Girl herself was ready to retire. So I'm really hoping in the next episodes we see somebody else, preferably a teen, pick up the mantle of Gossip Girl. And I also think I missed the anonymity of not knowing who Gossip Girl was. That's what made it even more interesting, because to see so many people's lives ruined and think, oh my gosh, who would do this, was part of the intrigue of Gossip Girl. So I really do miss that. But yeah, teachers, as in you're in your 30s, you're paying for a mortgage, and you're writing on teens? Girl, are you not embarrassed? So overall, the fashion for me on Gossip Girl has been a little bit lackluster. I would love to see them improve. I will give it, in terms of the main cast, just like the main friendship group, I will give it like a good 4/5 out of 8. I think there is definitely room for improvement. Monet and Julian definitely carry in terms of the fashion, but I think even they themselves can step it up a bit more, particularly Julian outside and inside school. I think the show, I would give it a strong 6 out of 10. It's definitely worth the watch, but it definitely has that new millennial script vibe where everything feels like it's a Tumblr/Twitter thread, which took me a good 2-3 episodes to get over. And some of the other elements I said that kind of bothered me, I was like, ooh. But overall, again, it's definitely entertaining enough to watch, definitely entertaining enough to keep my attention, and it's something I will definitely do another review of later once the season's over and give like my final thoughts. If you guys enjoyed this review, if you did, make sure you press that like button below and comment below what are more TV shows you would love to see me do a review of, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.